Wow. So if you hear the word protest, you're missing a real story. Picture this, not just one city, not just one crowd. We're talking about a whole bunch of people in a whole bunch of different places that came out to protest Donald Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
We talking about New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, Phoenix, Sacramento, St. Paul, even small towns where people are standing on the side of the road holding signs while cars drive by. This wasn't just one group, this was everywhere. You got older folks, younger folks, grandmas, grandpas. They've used three different generations to come out and protest this president. Okay? Saying, I want a better future for this person or that person or other people. You got working people, union people, service workers. You got veterans, emotional, on camera, listening to speeches. You got people waving the American flag while protesting the government. That matters because this isn't just some freaking crowd. This is regular, ordinary people. When you listen to what they got to say, it's not one clean issue. It's everything. They're talking about the war. They're talking about prices, groceries, rent, talking about immigration raids, talking about feeling like the system is not on their side anymore. And when you boil it all down, okay, what you really hear is one thing. I feel powerless.
Crowds turned out in all 50 states today in the latest round of No Kings rallies against the Trump administration. Millions of people protesting the president's policies, higher gas prices, and the war in Iran. A number of those No Kings rallies were happening right here in the Valley.
From Phoenix to Fountain Hills, Chandler, Tempe, and Mesa, Sun City to Scottsdale. This is what one of the protests looked like at Central Avenue in Missouri in Phoenix this morning. A lot of people holding signs, waving at folks passing by, drivers honking their horns. We asked some of the demonstrators why it was so important to come out today.
It's important to show the resistance that we are not going to let our democracy be taken away.
I believe it is a fundamental duty of all citizens to come out and raise a voice against wrong in terms of what's going on.
And demonstrators making their voices heard at the state capitol. We saw huge groups of people walking through downtown Phoenix this afternoon, holding signs, American flags, playing music, and dancing down the road. We spoke to one woman who says gatherings like this bring her hope.
It makes me feel better about our country as a whole. It helps me to realize that we aren't alone in our feelings about everything that feels so upside down. The solidarity with other people has really been important. So
you know that Donald Trump did this. Donald Trump is the most divisive president of our lifetime. The bulk of us did not want this. The bulk of this was not wanted. Overturning everything that we hold sacred, breaking the normal norms of the United States our system, trying to overthrow the Constitution, going to war, Epstein files, getting rid of DEI, making all people besides white males feel as though they're second-class citizens, denigrating women. All of this started under Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump's era of coming in, and people are rejecting it outright. People keep saying he won the bulk of the people. No, it wasn't the bulk of the people that voted him in. 48.9% voted him in. That means 52% did not vote him in, which meant he did not win the bulk of the country. There was no way the bulk of the country voted for this. And now we are seeing the results of letting the minority rule the narrative. The narrative that Donald Trump is giving you is not the bulk of what the country wants. This is not how it is. People do not wake up and flood the streets like this for no reason. They come out when something has been building for a while, for a long time, resentment, pain, and you can see it in how they talk. They're not just frustrated, they're using words like tyranny, fascism, authoritarianism. It's saying democracy is being taken away. Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's how they feel. And once people start feeling like that, they're going to come out and protest. And here's where things get complicated, because on the other side, on the side of the White House, you got the Trump administration basically brushing this off like it's nothing, calling it noise, calling it therapy, acting like it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter, because we're going to make the difference come November. We understand the choice. People need to understand the consequences of not voting, the consequences of voting a person who has no valid experience into the White House, the consequences of voting someone in who had this complicated a history of not taking America first or putting the America first agenda on the docket. This is not America first. Alienating women, blacks, Hispanics, immigrants, legal immigrants, alienating all of those people so you can put your agenda first is not what America wants. Okay? And we're not going to take it. We're not going to sit down. You're going to get voted out or impeached come November 2028. I don't care how they do it, how they slice it, and you guys have to be accountable, held accountable for the things you did. Held accountable means prosecution. Held accountable means impeachment. Okay? There's millions of people who are in the streets, and leadership is acting like it's nothing. They don't calm things down. That builds pressure. This president addresses less than half the country when he speaks. Those people are not going to rule for the majority of the class. The majority of the people of this country don't like where this country is going. Now we have to be real about something. Not everybody out there is the same. They're not all the same. They're not Democratic voters, Republican voters. They're all types of voters. Some people are peaceful, just holding signs, walking, chanting, going home. Then you got moments like you saw in Portland and Los Angeles where things escalate. We got that. Objects were thrown, police stepped in, arrests happened. That doesn't define the whole crowd. But emotions are high, and people are feeling like they're not being heard, okay, or represented. And people are on edge. They're saying we don't agree. We disagree about how we got here, but we all agree on one thing. We do not like the dictatorship. We do not like the direction this president, this administration is taking us, okay? So this is a powerful movement. You can dismiss it all you want. You can say X, Y, and Z. But Donald Trump won the presidency with 48.9 or something like that. He won it with 48%. That's not the bulk. That's not the majority. That's not a mandate. Because a lot of people stayed home, okay? And when a lot of people stayed home, they helped bring this in. So now we're saying, all of you people who stayed home, all of you people who made a mistake, all of you people who feel like this is not going in the direction that you wanted to go, you need to be out here protesting. Okay? You need to be out here protesting, saying, we need to change this. Don't get it twisted. Everything still matters. People matter. All people matter. But you have to understand, millions of people got up and were willing to leave their homes, stand in the street and say something is wrong. That tells you something about this country. Now, whether the shift turns into a real change, these people coming out in the street turning into real change, that's the part nobody knows yet. Because you also got millions of people who support Trump, who look at this protest and say, oh, he was elected. This is an overreaction. We don't care exactly why we voted for what we did. Okay, fine and dandy. Now, the people who don't want this to happen needs to come out and say something. November 2026. This is not just a protest. This is how the country is split. This is how the democracy is split. One of us sees danger and urgency, something that has to be stopped, and the other side sees an exaggeration or noise or people overreacting. Well, I'm sorry. When you tell me that I'm worth less than you are because I'm a woman and because I'm black, I'm not overreacting. Okay. I'm not overreacting. So we had the King's protest today. People came out, all shapes, sizes, and colors. People feel unheard. People feel squeezed and left behind. People feel like something is being slipped away. And whether they're right or wrong, that's the feeling that they have. It's real. And these feelings keep growing, and these protests and these crowds keep growing. And this is where we are right now. We're on a tipping point. People have said, we're not taking it anymore. And they're done with this administration and the decisions they keep making that nobody agrees with. Well, at least the bulk of the country doesn't agree with. And you know what? I'll see you in the next one.